So I was just looking at my boots and realizing how scuffed up they are and how badly they need conditioned. So I need to do that at some point. And I was looking at this, which I doubt that you can read. It's hard for me to read it. So that was Dad's. I don't know who got it for him, but I inherited it and put it in my shop. So, stupid nice day in Ohio. I just got off work. I was trying to figure out what to do and tinker with because it's so nice. Oh, how I miss the smell of this interior. It smells so good in here. I miss the smell of the S10. So, as you can see, we still got pieces parts. Lots of pieces parts. Makeshift speaker box for mids. Makeshift speaker box for subs. This stupid radio that don't have a remote to. Oh, what do we got here? We got push rods. We got an air cleaner. Hey, here's my Benchmade. I'm looking for that actually. Oh, what the heck? I'll take that in my pocket then. So, headliner's still out of it. Thinking about upgrading these to LED, or at least clear. Thinking about doing that. You know, I could have used this switch on my car. I wouldn't have had to buy one. Ooh, chapstick. Chapstick that's probably melted into everything. Change. Earbuds. Ooh. And it has the right connector. I wonder where those were at. Hey, there's the microphone for the radio upstairs that they have put in it. Instead of Oakley's. Generic Goodwill sunglasses. I'll grab these. Probably gonna have to clean those. Can't tell this was a hunting vehicle. Need some buck urine. How about some doe estrus? What else got good up in here? Nothing. Nothing good. See, now that's what we need either in this thing or in the Beamer. One of the two. Yeah, she still sits here. I have a different steering wheel for it. I don't know if y'all remember one of my trips to Mill Iron. Got me a real nice Chevy steering wheel. Newer than this one. Oh no, it was older. Because it was the same steering wheel that I had in my Camaro. So, she's still here. Or he. I guess since it's dubbed Junior. He's still here. Ooh, what was in this bag? This was sanding stuff for the roof. Just shop rags. Oh, that's so fun. Did find my pocket knife though. Toolbox is looking all cruddy. I noticed my Chevy emblem is peeling off. I didn't think it would do that. Still gotta get all the tape off of this. Still need to wet sand it. Probably put one more coat on it. But it's not rusty and crusty like it was. Still need to put the windshield seal back in. Yeah. Fenders have gotten rustier though. Same thing with the rockers and the bed. You can see the bed there. Oh, what did I do here? That's not good. This one looks to be doing, I guess not, maybe doing the same thing. Got some, better aerodynamics here going on. This side isn't as bad. And that toolbox, or not rusty and crusty, but crusty. Oh, what do we got up in here? Well, We got valve covers, radiator hoses, distributor, lights, fog light wiring, roof rack, supposed to be for the canoe, one exhaust manifold. Ugh. Lights still work. I just have them on the battery pack. So this is what you get whenever you buy these lights to test them. This so show how bright they are. Excuse me. Excuse me. So this is what you get with these lights whenever it says try me. So what I did, I just wired it up to a switch. I think this was like 2 AA batteries. And so I just have a switch here. Lights it up. I have one on the other side, and that lights up the whole toolbox plus the bed of the truck. I have 2 more. You might have saw them inside. Excuse me. You might have saw them inside. They're in the center console there. So, yeah, I got 2 more of those I can put somewhere. But she's rusty. What I want to do is take off the front clip, finish the engine that way, and then I have that other front clip, if y'all remember. I guess we can take a walk. That I can put on. It's less rusty. It's from an S10 Sonoma, but it's gold, which is fine. It does have some rust. It does have the inner fender wells too, which is kind of nice. Let's see here. But inner fender wells are pretty good shape, nice and solid. It's getting the rust in the same spot here. S15 badge on them. The other one's a little rusty, not bad. I mean, considering, and it has the core support. Considering my core support is garbage and my inner fender wells don't exist anymore, I think that's a good trade-off right there. So, it gets a couple of really nice days. I need probably at least 1 day to reassemble the engine. And then I need a day probably for the intake sealant to dry and cure. And then the next day I could probably put the front clip back on. So I probably need at least 2 to 3 days of nice weather. I think technically I could have the engine back together, have the push rods set, the lash in them, and have the intake back on in probably a day. Because there isn't much to do, really. Core support, and then the next day. But I still need to find bolts for the exhaust manifolds. I do have those headers, though. I could put headers on this. But then I'm redoing the whole entire exhaust. So, I'm debating. I could put exhaust manifolds on it, be done with it, and button it back up. Because I can put the exhaust, hook it right back up the same way. Or, like I said, I can do headers, and then I gotta figure out a mount for power steering and a mount for the smog pump. Because I really don't want to eliminate the smog pump. But I'd have to. Well, I don't want to, because then I have to get a different belt. Then I have to have a pulley there to take up the slack. So that way the belt doesn't come off if you got a shorter belt. So I need to figure that out. Because if I just left it on there and it's not doing anything, then it might be fine. Because on the exhaust manifolds, it has where, on the passenger side, it has where that stupid smog pump goes into it. And then on the driver's side, it has where that stupid air filter snorkel vent thing goes into it, which isn't a big deal. So, lots to do on Junior here. Lots to do. So, lots of content to come once I can get some consistently nice days and actually have some time to do stuff. Like I said before, I would have loved to get this into the garage, and then I could have just done everything, and it would have been done over the winter, or even over the summer with the weather how it was, and that. So, I don't know, maybe. Or, what I could have done was pulled the engine. Didn't want to do that because I didn't want to deal with unhooking everything, and that. I could have left the transmission in it, unhooked it from the transmission. Then I could have done the clutch, put in a new clutch and that. But yeah, I didn't want to go that far down the rabbit hole. And then we still have the moon visor that we gotta get put on this. We got the Starlight headliner that we need to put in this. I got a bunch of speakers to put into it and an amp. And then body work, and I want to do a 3-inch exhaust, straight exhaust on it. I do have different rims for it and tires, so I do have, what were they? They were the extreme rims, so I have those. I got tires for them, just need to be mounted and balanced. Or I can go with the 20s that I have, and I just need to get tires for them. Those 20s are heavy as poop because they got, they're all steel. The other thing I need to do, or did I already do that? Can't remember if I put new brakes on the front. I don't think I did. So that's something I'll have to do. New rotors, pads, and calipers, probably. And then we replaced the wheel cylinder on this side. So I don't have to worry about that. Probably the wheel cylinder on the other side. The other thing I want to do, so a friend of mine's S10 is pretty much toasty garbage, bad frame and all. So they have a hitch that will fit this, so I want to put a hitch on this. But I was thinking about going with the roll pan, but I can't go with the roll pan if I put a hitch on it. So I do have a roll pan for this, and I do have tail lights that have the chrome, and really nice shaped chrome around it. And then, if I remember right, we did get different mirrors for this as well on the one trip to our local junkyard. So yeah, he'll be a bad mamma jamma once we get done, but we gotta get started before we can get done. To be retired, if I was retired, it would be done by now. But I probably wouldn't have the money to do it, to finish it. It's a trade-off, working or retirement, and having no money to do what you want to do. So yeah, more to come on this. I really, really, really am itching to get this back on the road. Because I love these headlights. They're so flippin' bright. And people get ticked off and start brighting you, even though they're not your brights, and then you hit the brights on them, and they're like, whoa. So, I do have a gold hood, or I can go back to this hood. Haven't decided. We'll see. I could sand that down. What I want to do is go with a 2-inch cowl hood on this. I think that would be pretty bad looking. So, list of things to do. Yeah. Just need more time. It's hard to do things after work because there's so many other things that you have to get done once you're done with work, and then you get home and time just slips away from you so quickly. Look at this thing. It's rusty, it's crusty. It doesn't have any clear coat left on it. It has fading paint. But it's my rusty and crusty with fading paint and that. So yeah. To drive this again, that would be great. And I have a truck again. since my big truck's still not done. So, we'll get there. We'll get her done. We will get her done. So more S10 content to come. Super stoked about that. I think people are going to enjoy it. I know I'm going to enjoy doing it. Oh, the other thing we wanted to do was put dual batteries in it too, for the sound system and for to run any other auxiliary things. So dual batteries, that was the other thing I was going to do. Had a whole laundry list of things to do with this thing. So then of course then we have to start in on body work on it too. Should be a challenge though, since I don't think anything actually is attached to the frame at this point. I think all the cab mounts are rusted out, and from the looks of this over here, I saw this the other day, I think one of my core support mounts is also rotted out. So that's another thing I'm going to have to do, is get all new hardware for the cab and the core support probably. Be able to hold it back together. So that should be fun. So yeah, more to come. More S10 content. And plus it'd be nice to be able to park here again instead of having it sit here. What I'd like to do is be able to get it onto the other side of the garage, so that way all my tools are right there. That might be a later project. But more to come.